Hello everyone, TLSG here, back again with another Daily Marvel Snap video. So today we have a Devil Dino Professor X lockdown, and it's a little bit of a blast from the past. The original Professor X Dino list that I ran came from KM Best. I don't know where he got the inspiration from, but it came from KM Best like right around the time of global release. And then with the addition of new cards, it kind of dropped off because a lot of those were just absurdly strong. But with those being balanced and put in line, this has gotten even better. And so you're able to lock down those key or pivotal locations. You can play around your opponent's locations. You get the Daredevil read, which is such good information. This is an information game. Knowing more information than your opponent does, or having that information so that you're at least, you can use it efficiently or strategically, can help you mitigate cube losses and maximize on cube gains. And so this deck does what it wants to do very, very well, and that is put out a lot of power early into a either big burst from our Devil Dino into a Professor X lock to make sure that they can't do the things that they want to do, whether that be copying a 192 power Red Skull with a Taskmaster. It just becomes much more difficult because then they don't have the luxury of choosing where they want to position their cards. This deck also has a couple of good counters to Galactus in our Polaris and our Arrow. Both of those would serve us pretty well depending on what point in the game we're at, to be able to misposition their cards so that we don't get slammed with the Galactus. And then if they wave into a Galactus and it's a turn 4 Galactus and you have Professor X in hand, you can always drop Professor X. If you get the right read, you're going to have that Galactus lane locked down. Nobody's going to be able to do anything for the rest of the game. But overall, the deck list runs incredibly well. We changed a few of the things from the original list. We added in Polaris and Agent Coulson over what used to be a Cosmo and a Moon Girl. The original list had a leader, which that's back when leader was absurd, and we cut that for the Killmonger. But otherwise, the kind of core components, I believe the original had a Sunspot, maybe a Nightcrawler somewhere as well. We cut a few of those loose ends and readjusted a little bit here and there. All right, so first up we have 9. And in our opening hand, we do have, we now have Quinjet, but we also have Sentinel, Killmonger, Professor X. The Professor X border bugs me, but I've split him 8 times now, and I wasn't paying attention to how many boosters I had left in him. And I was trying to get him black and white. I ran out of boosters halfway through. Oh well, he's fine at green. He'll be green for a little while. We do get the just consistent value from the Sentinel play with the Quinjet. Just the one power, the one cost over and over and over again is so big. I think we do Polaris. We're just going to get it down onto the board just for the raw power. Ooh, they do kill our Quinjet with their Killmonger, unfortunately. And then the right lane is going to get destroyed. Oh, unfortunate. Let's go all in on the left lane. We don't have Daredevil, so we can't get a guaranteed read on what the location is going to be. Actually, since it turned into Murder World afterwards, it's fine. Since we can't get a guaranteed read on what this play is going to be, it's going to have to go down to like a gut instinct. And this looks like a Silver Surfer deck. They have, actually, the Maximus didn't come from them, but they have the Domino and the Killmonger. I think we're okay to play it in either location, honestly. In my head, they play a Sarah this turn. And if I'm them, I play it here. It's going to limit a lot of their space. We can then lean in on this left lane, maybe. I'd rather that than give them the space to play a Brood and just get a lot of value in this lane. So they play the Brood just earlier than I thought. They played in the left lane. I kind of wish we would have locked that one down. But at the same time, I think it's probably okay. So if they do a Silver Surfer, 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 extra power here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It's 15, so we're at 20. Unless they have a way to buff it up 2 times, then we're perfectly fine here. So like an Ironheart maybe could do it. Negasonic. Negasonic is not going to be able to bring it home. We do lock down mid with the Professor X read, and then the big Devil Dino coming in to sweep it the rest of the way home. We will absolutely take the 2 cubes. Let's go ahead and jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Mr. Slantastic, and they're a little bit tilted. Planted. I think that's the joke. They play in the left lane into the Vibranium. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I thought it was really strange that they were playing into the Vibranium Mines early, but they had Reality Stone. So they're running a Thanos deck. They do change that left lane into Titan. We don't run any 6-cost cards, so we're going to have to rely on being able to lock them down early. Now, we don't have a great turn 3 play. We probably prioritize Agent Coulson where we can. That's going to give us 2 extra resources that will be reduced by Quinjet. So the 4 cost is going to be 3. Oh, never mind. The 4 cost is going to be 4. The 5 cost is going to be 5. Wow. So this looks like the death version, like the death wave version of Thanos. Hey, we wanted the orange border Professor X. Here he is. We just had to play Agent Coulson to get him. Something I didn't think about, the particle effect on Agent Coulson, does that carry over to the cards he creates? Because if you get something super cool, like a black and white crackle, I think that would be worth playing Agent Coulson just because. All right, let's do the Daredevil and the Lizard. I'm going to do them both into the left lane. We do have the Hawk, which this Agent Coulson was huge for us. This was beautiful, just value that it provided for us. Just so many good resources. Now, they play 2 cards into mid. It looks like they're trying to get them to be destroyed. Oh, and we get a second Professor X. Oh, no. Well, so I'm assuming they have death at some point. Right now, there's been 5 cards destroyed. Death by itself costs 4. If they do wave this turn, then death next turn would, of course, be free. Okay, so the Space Stone and then Spider-Man in the right lane. Ooh, all right. And Spider-Man's not the last card that was played, so I can't even pull it over with like an arrow. We're going to go for a Hail Mary. We're going to play the Professor X in the left lane. I can't think of a better play line. We could try Arrow, but I think this is the last card that was played, not this one. So we wouldn't be able to pull the Spider-Man out of this location. We could lock it down, but if they have anything that boosts it up even further, it's not going to be impactful for us. So what we're going to do instead is we are going to lock in the Titan location. We won't be able to play into the Lechugia next turn. And so they did play the Stone last to make sure that it was arrow proof. So that wasn't a play line. They can't move any cards over there now. And so it comes down to, can we get a card to stick in the danger room? And so I'm kind of curious, which direction should we play it? We could do it this way. But if that first card gets destroyed, we're gonna build up into it. We're gonna give it fodder with Sentinel. It's gonna destroy the Sentinel, then the Hawk is gonna stay, and it's just gonna absolutely win us the game. It could be copium talking. It's only a 25% chance that it gets destroyed, so I have to remind myself of that. I have had bad experiences in the past, but I've had a lot of good ones as well. And so it's 3 out of 4 chance that it's fine. All right, so they do a Devil Dino. Does it stick? Oh, it does stick in mid. Oof. They do a Time Stone, so that makes their deck even bigger. We need our Hawk to stay in Danger Room. Sentinel? No, he doesn't. Oh, okay. That was the nicest Danger Room I've ever seen. Sometimes you roll the dice a little bit. Sometimes you can't help it. He put us in a position that we weren't able to lock down this one or this one with Professor X, and so we had to do something risky to be able to potentially find a way to win. We'll take it. We'll go ahead and take the 2 cubes. Let's jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Heavy. And they did buy the Throg? The Thor variant package. I ended up skipping that one just because it was so expensive. It's a really cool variant. I would definitely love to have it, but it's just a little bit... I wasn't able to justify it. We're going to start off with Lizard in the left lane. We have Polaris. We could try to pull one of their cards over. Let's see. They do grab initiative, so if they play a 1 or a 2 cost card in either of these lanes, we're going to yank it over into Fisk Tower. I think we do that. Next turn, we will prioritize our Daredevil, even if we get something like an Agent Coulson. Having Daredevil out onto the board, I think is going to be really, really big for us. They play Wolverine. This could be a Galactus. It could be a turn 6 Galactus play. Or a play for a turn 6 Galactus. Could be a Destruction deck. Could be like a Venom, a Null deck. Ooh, so the Shuri comes down. And so with that, I am sure that this is a Nimrod. That Nimrod's going to be right here. Yep. Okay. So it's going to be a 10 power Nimrod, right? That brings them to 14. They beat us by 4 currently in this lane. They beat us by 4 in this lane. If we do here, we're winning this one by 5, so we do snag initiative away from them. Or we can do Professor X in the right lane. Nothing can get added over there on the last turn. We're going to have initiative. We can do an arrow into the left lane. We won't have to worry about a Galactus because we're going to have priority. We're going to have initiative. A destroyer play is not going to do it for them either, unless Wolverine pops back here. So I guess it goes down to a 50-50 at that point. Not a fan of 50. I'm not a fan of 50-50s, but we will. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try to send it here. The destroyer and then Wolverine popping here. It'd bring them to I think 19, and then we would be stuck with what we have over here. We'll see. Oh wait. No, I guess they could play a destroyer here. They have to play in Fisk Tower just for the off chance that we do have arrow. Hopefully, for me, hopefully they play in Lemuria. Oh, they do. That is game. Could be a destroyer, could be Galactus. It doesn't matter anymore. We will take the 4 cubes where we can. This deck allowing us to find ways to counter the opponent and whatever they want to do in most scenarios is so incredibly satisfying. It has been a while since I have played the Professor X Dino lockdown deck, and I've been loving it. I've been loving it since picking it back up, and I think it's very, very strong. And once Jeff is added, you may even be able to get a little bit sneakier with your Professor X plays. But let's go ahead and take the 4 cubes. We'll jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have a rock concert. We're having a rock off. The only thing we're missing is maybe the Lechugia. Ooh, they are running Korg, so they're probably running a Hawk deck. I was just kidding about Lechugia and the Subterranea. I don't want those to I don't want those to pop up because we are not running a Hawk deck anymore. And so those would be actively bad for us. We do have Killmonger, so we could destroy the Korg, but I'm putting them on this being not a bounce deck. I'm thinking this is the Hawk version. We're going to see what we can do. Since we didn't have a card we could play early, we're going to have to lean in on like Polaris, and we're going to lean away from Agent Coulson. Okay, so Polaris actually doesn't pull anything. That's fine. We're tied in. Oh, there's the Lechugia. I was just kidding. I didn't really want the Lechugia to be here. Like I was really joking. That's tough. That's rough. All right, so the White Queen is big. Do we ever do something like this? We would have to do a Hail Mary in the left lane to try to lock it down with Professor X. We could then lean in on like a White Queen in mid. No, let's do White Queen to the left. It's going to yank it into mid. Maybe we pull their Hawk. Maybe we pull an Agent 13. No, they play their Hawk. Wow. Just throwing that thing out onto the board. All right, so we do pull their Devil Dino, though. So this is the Dino Hawk version. Let's go ahead. We're going to play Such a tough call. If they have a Rock Slide, it's just going to yank over here, and it's not great for us in any way, shape, or form. Maybe this is the play. Does Dino Hawk run Shang-Chi? They do. They all do. We're going to play into the Lechugia. It looks like we probably could have locked down. Oh, no. They use White Queen to steal one of our cards as well. So we are going to get the Lechugia locked down with just the Professor X. So now it comes down to winning the last one. How do we win from here is my biggest question. Like, we can't do... I mean, we could... No. This would lose in mid because Shang-Chi's going to get pulled into the middle. We could do this. 15 power here. I have a read that they're going to play for Wakanda Embassy. We're going to play for mid instead. So the Zabu, the Devil Dino, we do push our advantage in mid. We swing that location by 3. We lock down the right with a Professor X. That one came down to a gut read. Knowing that we had stole their Devil Dino, this was theirs, that we had stole their Devil Dino, they stole it back, so they had at least 2 copies. They had a pretty decent chance of needing to play that card. And we were able to get very fortunate that they played to where we assumed that they would. Had we tried to go toe-to-toe with them, our 15 power was not going to match their total power output that they had in this lane. So we will go ahead and take the 4 cubes. Let's go ahead and jump over into one more. All right, next up we have Chloe. The first location is the sewer system, so that's usually an okay lane to try to lock down, because it's going to encourage people to play away from it for the most part. We do get Bar Sinister, which is always interesting. If we can lock that down with Professor X, then we don't have to worry about them duplicating their big powerful plays like, I don't know, Shuri over and over and over again. Let's go ahead and do our Agent Coulson. We do have room to be able to hold the extra resources he provides. Maybe he gives us something that is just absolutely critical, absolutely clutch. The Captain Marvel is not terrible. We do get Shang-Chi. I'm strongly thinking that this is a Shuri deck, but they played for mid. So if they played their Shuri in mid, yep, it's going to duplicate, which is, I think, okay. All that leaves them is 8 power here. We do have initiative, so it comes down to a gut read of, are they going to try to play it safe? Which, if I am them, I play whatever big power play I'm gunning up for. I play it into the sewer system. That is the location that's locked down. That is the lane that is protected. And so we're going to Professor X in the right lane instead. And then all we'll have to do after that is make sure that we can do at least 8 power in the middle location. So they do play for the left lane. I'm assuming, oh yeah, that's a pretty large, pretty large Red Skull, my friend. The Taskmaster did look very enticing, and it's 192 power, 191 power casually. Let's go ahead and do the Devil Dino and then the Quinjet last. I almost misordered it. We want to protect ourselves from a potential arrow play, so that we can make sure we win in mid. We do get the retreat. It's always fun, but at the same time risky to play into the Bar Sinister like that. We will absolutely take the 1 cube. And that is where we're actually going to go ahead and end the video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a like and a comment down below. As always, this has been TLSG.